Hello, hello. Yes, so I'm Chris Cairns. I'm a senior director at Epsilon. For those of you that missed the chat earlier on today, Epsilon's essentially a marketing and advertising technology company, but underpinned with identity. So to help brands in being able to understand who are consumers and how best to market to them, basically. So what we're going to talk about is where we're going. We don't need channels. Actually, what we really need is customers. So if we just look at some top line statistics, so 4% of consumers that visit your website for the first time are ready to buy straight away. It's very kind of them. We'd like to say these are more impulsive shoppers. However, if you look at it the other way, what it really means is that 96% of consumers aren't ready to shop. So what does that mean the website is there for? Is it more of a researching tool? Is it something that they're looking to potentially do some comparison, maybe go into the physical store and actually buy from there? But then also it begs the question of who's coming to the website and how are they getting there? So what channels are driving these people, and are they driving the right types of people through to the website? So if we then start looking at prospects versus customers, so I mean, this is a very broad average rate here, but let's say on average it costs around about £55 to acquire a new customer. But then on the other side, industry match rates of being able to identify who your customers are in various different channels is around about 35%. So realistically, if you're only able to remember and recognize a third of your customers, is there a risk that you're actually paying to acquire your same customers again? So if you had two identical customers, one of which has never heard of your brand or shopped with you as of yet, and they land on your website, and the other one is a loyal customer, but they've got a new phone, they've got new cookies, you can't match or understand their hashed email, the second person is more likely to shop with you and buy from you. So actually, is that £55 too low? Because if you scraped out all of the people that were already existing customers that are buying again, that potentially may inflate it. So if we look at the funnel, so to speak, it is difficult in the best of times anyway. But if you consider that there are multiple different partners that are required, different channels that you would use in these various different stages, it's very difficult to accurately hand one person off from one part of the funnel to the next stage. So you do then potentially run the risk of actually having the same customer in different pots of the funnel. So, I mean, let's all be honest here. Everyone's been served that sign up to my newsletter and get 10% offer, even from a brand where you have bought from them previously. I'll hold my hand up and say sometimes maybe I even put in a second or third email address to get that 10% off. So there's a risk of actually trying to acquire the same people over and over again. To add into the difficulty of it all, the fact is that the main identifier or way of finding people currently is third-party cookies. And if you look at somewhere like Safari, where there are no third-party cookies, you've actually only really got one day to remember who this person is. So it can be really difficult to remember and identify, so then it runs an even bigger risk of someone being potentially in the consideration phase and also having converted and potentially being a loyal customer on 3 separate devices. So this is effectively where Epsilon has been going for the last 50 odd years or so, as Elliot was alluding to in our last talk, is combining a whole host of different channels or ways of communicating with a customer, but more importantly, focusing on who that customer is. So a large part of what we do is around identity and building out an identity that isn't reliant on things like cookies or hashed emails, to actually just be able to link back to an individual customer, whether it be more upper funnel activity like branding through connected TV, all the way through to performance channels, getting that person to convert on a website and then feed into CRM and loyalty strategies, but most importantly, personalizing at the one-to-one level. We're all delicate little snowflakes that have unique relationships back to brands, so you need to be treated in that same manner. Some person may require more awareness work, more consideration time to research the brand before purchasing, versus that impulsive shopper that will just fly through the funnel and buy. And your marketing needs to match that customer at that point in time. You need to help ease that conversion point as much as possible. So as a quick overview of kind of some of the work that we've done. So whether it be from an off-site point of view through channels like display and online video, helping massive brands like Decathlon in driving significant incremental revenue. So millions of pounds of incremental revenue by being smarter with how they target. So knowing who is a customer and who isn't, and driving more business and more revenue for the brand. Or even in new emerging markets, helping brands to really understand what to do on their website to drive that conversion rate. So Cairns, for example, setting up in Spain, helping them in optimizing the website to drive that conversion rate and increase the average order value. But then even in the travel sector as well, so preferred hotels, we run their loyalty program for them as well. So making sure that they have that single point system that they can easily identify where are customers and how can we drive those customers to becoming more loyal and giving a better experience. But since today has been a lot around retail media, we don't just work with brands directly, we do a lot of this work from a retail media landscape as well. So being able to accurately understand who your customers are and not just benefit from in-store retail media or even on-site retail media, but being able to take that accurate identity, take that out across the open web where there is far more scale and more opportunity to drive revenue from your partnerships as well. So that was a quick little overview of the fact that we don't need channels. So I've been Chris Cairns. Our stand is literally behind us. We've got loads of beer and stuff, so please stop by and say hello. But we're also running the competition. If you get a photo with that lovely DeLorean outside, put it on LinkedIn with the hashtag Epsilon at Madfest, I believe, then you could win TV or even a mini DeLorean, whichever you prefer. So hopefully that was enjoyable, and if you want to chat more, come speak to us. Excellent, thank you.